Hello everyone. So I'm here today with Bellevue, my Emma and Chloe, and I'm actually here to do a sculpt. Wow, I'm here to do a prompt, but first I wanted to blather about her a little bit because once again I have her head on her body, despite the fact she is still in the middle of her face-up process. And it's so weird because I have not done that for any of my other dolls, but I really just need her complete. I hate just looking over and it's just her body. I love seeing her all together because I just find her so beautiful and so remarkable. I'm having such a great time with her. I don't know what it is about her, but I just absolutely adore her. I cannot tell if it's because I've been wanting a Chloe since she's been released, and I have. Like, when she was released, I felt instantly in love and have wanted her since then. I don't know if it's that or the fact that I love this tan skin from Fairyland. I just love it. I think they chose a great tan for their sculpts because they could have went any other direction, but I think they really put some thought into it. I also don't know if it's just like the body and everything. Like, she's so easy to stand and pose, and I love her hands. I love everything about her. And it's funny, I was catching up on videos today, and I watched videos from Inky Ghost and from Sarah Beheading, and I'm like, at least I'm not the only one who just is in love with their new mini feet. Oh, and Oh My Waffles is as well because she got her tan boy in, and he's just so cute. I didn't realize how cute the Merwin sculpt is in tan. He's kind of ridiculously adorable. So anyway, enough of that. Let me get on to the prompt, which is from NellaCuriosity about how do you resist temptation? And weirdly enough, I think I've answered something like this before, but I feel like the answer would be definitely more accurate now that I've been hobbying a while. I've been in the hobby for a while, and I've had a whole bunch of buying shenanigans. So I definitely feel like this answer is more concrete. And basically, for me, I have discovered that about 80 to 90% of how I resist temptation is in regards to characters. And probably a lot of people have this answer. Excuse me. Probably a lot of people have this answer. So I notice a lot of people especially on YouTube, have characters for their dolls. Even even if they don't like make it as soon as they see the doll online. Once they get the doll, sometimes it just comes out. You have a character for them. And for me, I have some preset characters that I already have, but I also, of course, have been making up a lot along the way in this hobby. And I have discovered that if I cannot come up with a character for a doll, that then I can't bring them home. I've already had so far 3 dolls come home with 0 character, and in those 3 cases, I just hated the way I felt. And I know that sounds very overblown. I get that, but at the same time, it's important to me to feel like I am not wasting money in this hobby, especially with how the people around me, like, in real life, feel about this hobby. They already personally feel like I'm wasting money. I don't want to feel that way myself. And when I was, first was getting in this hobby, I was shelling characters that I've had around for a very long time. Like Rye is probably more than 10 years old at this point, character wise. And, they were just very important to me, and it was such a good feeling to shell them. Excuse me. And so at that point, it did not feel like I was wasting money. I'm like, I am shelling these characters that have been in my head and my heart for so long, and it just felt wonderful. And I'm like, this was worth every penny. So when I decided to ignore those feelings to get, say, my Chateau, Olivia, and Pierre, that's when I kind of felt the waste of money. And I do not like that feeling. It is the worst. I mean, one of the worst hobby ones, not like the worst feeling ever. Because, like, when I got them, and I pretty much, when I first saw them, I wanted them. So I got them. I had no character at the time when I got them. And then I kind of made up a half-assed story for them. And when they got here, it didn't stick. Because, like, nothing was working. And at that point, they became dollar signs to me. And that, I hate that feeling. I absolutely cannot stand it. I cannot stand looking at a doll and going, oh, I could get another doll with that, or I could get a whole bunch of doll stuff for that, for that amount, or I could pay a bill with that. That is a feeling I just absolutely cannot stand. And when I looked at them, that's what I saw. So luckily, one day I looked at them and I was inspired to redo their face-ups. If I hadn't done that, they would have been sold. In fact, to be perfectly honest, if it wasn't such a hassle to sell big dolls, and especially dolls like Doll Chateau, where that's a very specific aesthetic, if it wasn't so hard to sell dolls like that, they would have been sold before I rethought of their face-ups. Honestly, they would have. And I feel bad looking back on it now, but at the same time, they were making me feel bad. At the time, they were making me feel bad because I was like, I wasted money and I wasted time waiting for them. And it was awful. I didn't like it. So, yeah. And then the same thing happened again when I got my Dollzone Greta. And I bought my Dollzone Greta because I wanted to dress her a certain way. Had no character for her. And when I finally got her and put her actually in a dress I had bought specifically for that body, it looked so bad. It looked so bad that against her sculpt, actually. It looked so bad against her sculpt that I actually got upset. Like, upset to the point of tears. And it was the worst. If the body, the Doll Chateau body I had bought, that was actually going to be for my Caraclone head from Dalmore that I was thinking of getting, I actually had talked myself out of, and I was actually going to sell the Doll Chateau body once it got here. If that body actually hadn't got here and I hadn't had the idea to maybe try the Greta head on it, then sold. I would have sold her because that she was not working out for me, and it was just, I felt like that was just the worst decision ever. So yes, 80 to about 90%, I would say resisting temptation is character. I have to have character in mind. Now, I don't need a whole life story. I don't need to know even like wigs and clothes and stuff like that. I just have to be able to look at a doll and, think of, even if I can't exactly think of a name, I can think of like, oh, I have a lot of vampires. So they're a vampire poet from the 17th century that one time fought in a war. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but if I can look at a doll and see like the basics growing for a character, then yes, I will get that doll. And then the rest will come to me once they get here, which has pretty much happened for everybody that I currently have here that are not the dolls I mentioned previously. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. Definitely character driven. Have to think of a character. If I don't, then I move on to the next doll. Like, honestly, I had thought about trying to somehow, any way possible, try to get a tan people 60 cards, and then I realized no character for him. I have 0, and at that point I realized I was going to get him just to have him because I just love Fairyland Stan. And I'm like, he would be such an amazing doll, but I have no character for him. And while I would probably, end up enjoying him when he got here, it would be a waste, and I don't want to waste anymore. Like, this hobby's just too expensive to waste money, or to have anything feel like a waste of money. I don't like even getting an outfit or a wig that I feel like is a waste of money. I have a pair of doll eyes that were like $10, and I got super pissed when the dome was too high for me to use them in the doll I got them for. I was like, that was a waste of money, and I got pissed. So Matt, like, multiply that by, you know, uh, not 500, but 50. There we go. Multiply that by 50, and, see how you feel then. So, yeah, the rest of the percentage, the either 10 or 20%, is usually money, because more than more often than not, my money is already tied up in a doll I have made a character for. So there's only so far my money can spread. There's only so far it can go. And so that would make up the like remaining 10 to 20% right there. The rest is just financials, but the biggest part for me is character. I can't even say it's money anymore, and I think in the last time I answered this, I think maybe I did mention money being a larger part of it, but it's not. If I really want a doll, if the characters really coming to me, I will do my best to work that out, to get that doll home. I did that for her, and I did that for my Anoa Lucis that I have on layaway. I did what I could. I'm doing what I can even now, because my Lucis is still on layaway. Um, I will make it work if I really, really want that doll. So I can't really say that financials is as large as it used to be in the past, you know. But yeah, so that was the long, drawn out answer to that prompt. Thank you so much if you watched. I know that was a long one. And once again, I blathered about my girl. But I mean, I I really can't get over, like, the one thing, stupid thing, this is really stupid, that I really can't get over, is the fact that her elbow looks like a friggin' elbow when it's pinned. It's so just cute. I love it. I absolutely adore it. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here before, like, I spend another 10 minutes talking about her. And I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to continue catching up on videos if I can, and finally eat dinner. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.